Yeah, what is up? It's Finn State with CB83 coming to you for another banger of a show. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Pulling up. Shout out to chat. Shout out to the homie. Finn Sanity 5 in the building with the fins up. Fins up, Finn Sanity. You already know what time it is. You know how we get down on these Friday nights, these Fins Take Fridays. We just get it in. Cloth talk, Miami Dolphins, having the conversations. Man, this one will be fun. Pull up on your boy. We about to get it cracking in here. Um, do me a favor on your way in. Punch that like button. It's about to get crazy, man. Got something new for y'all, man. Let me hit these settings real quick. Get in the chat. Hit them with the fins up. We're about to get it cracking. It's Friday night. It's another Fins Take Friday. Got some homies pulling up. This one will be fun for sure. This one will be fun. Let's go ahead and crank this thing. Hey, where y'all at, man? Let me see where y'all at. Hold up. What's good with y'all? What's up, man? Hey, I see you. Hey, my man. Hey, my homie DGE in the building. My dog said I'm coming soon. I see you, boy. Hey, I know you ready for this new heat we got over here. We get it cracking over here, man. Shout out to the homie DGE in the building. Hey, Pittsburgh Dolphin in the building. Let's go, man. We gotta crank it, man. Hey, the homie said crank it. Hey, we about to crank it. Let's go. Yes, sir, man. Been a long week of work, long productive week of work. All right, but I'm happy to be here, man. We about to get this thing going. DGE in the building. Pittsburgh Dolphins said crank it. Hey, we about to crank it. Let's go. Yes, sir. Shout out to the homie Pittsburgh Dolphin. Hey, we got some new heat, man. Do your boy a favor. Punch that like button on your way in. Glenn's in the building. Let's get this thing cracking. Glenn, y'all ready? Y'all ready to go up? It's Friday. It's Fins Take Friday. Punch that like button on your way in. Shout out to the members gang. Pittsburgh Dolphin, Glenn Paliker in the building. My man Bernard Simpson says, take a shot one time for the one-time fins up. Hey, let's go. Y'all ready for this new heat? Y'all ready for this new heat? Here, shout out to everybody in the building. It's your boy Fins Take Security 3 coming to you for another banger. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all know how we get it in on these Friday nights, man. Hey, a lot to talk about in the Dolphins world, man. Them boys got it cranking with the OTAs, man. I heard Tua was about to hold out. Man, what are y'all talking about? So I heard Tua was holding out. People was mad, I guess, because he went to a golf tournament. Just a bunch of drama, a bunch of drama. But hey, I'm here for it. We're gonna have the conversations. But nah, we definitely gonna get this thing cracking tonight. Shout out to the homie Bernard Simpson in the building. And shout out to the members gang for sure. Pittsburgh Dolphins 72 in the building. Hey, Glenn Pallaker in the building, and she said, if you're Tua, why would you come to training camp without a contract? He gets injured, his value is gone. And I agree with that to some extent. I mean, quarterbacks don't really get hit like that in training camp. They really don't take a beating. Those guys aren't getting rolled up on and stuff like that. Um, so it's there's gonna be like, you know, precautionary reasons for him not to come to camp, but he's a quarterback. He's going to be there. So we've already seen some footage of him kind of being in the building, throwing with the guys. I've seen some photos with the camera on his helmet. You know, just the same old Tua. Same old Tua. I think he may be a little bit more focused, a little bit more seasoned, which is kind of crazy. He might be a little bit more seasoned during this off season, right? Just working with different guys, getting outside of his box. But man, it's exciting to see the guys back in the building, back working. Week 1 of OTAs in the books, and I got my guy in the building. What's good with you, Lou? What's popping, man? I didn't know you was coming through tonight. What's up?
Man, what's good, CB, man? You know I was pulling up on you, man. What's good?
What's up with you, man? How you feeling, man?
Hey, man, listen, I'm having a good night tonight, and I'm actually in line, about to pay. Took the little man to go get some ice cream, man. So,
Nice,
spending a little QT, man. Did the thing with the wife and now with the kids. So.
nice, bro. That's what's up. Is that their last day of school over there this week, or is it next week?
Yeah. They just finished up today, so,
Yeah, bro.
all good.
We did this. Hey, we did the same thing, bro. We did the last day of school activities. Went out to eat, hung with them, got some drinks. It's been a long year, but hey, we did it as parents. Shout out to all the parents out there with the little ones in school, man. It's a struggle, but the summer will be even crazier, man. With the kids at the crib, so it'll be crazy. But
Yep.
man, real quick, let me get in this chat real quick. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to homie Irv in the building. He says, "What up, CB? What's good, homie?" Irv, man, what's up, man? Irv, I heard you, man. I heard Irv was doing a little flip flopping today, man. Y'all be thinking I don't be listening, but I be
Crazy,
listening,
man.
bro. Hey, some of y'all boys on these takes be crazy. Some of y'all boys on these takes be crazy. Pittsburgh Dolphins says, "Nice intro. I appreciate it, homie. A little something we cooked up." Raphael in the building. Glenn Pallaker in the building. And shout out to the homie Irv with becoming a member, kind of extending his membership for another 5 months. I appreciate you, homie. Shout out to homie Irv. Let's go, Irv. Hey, the homie Irv says, "What's good? I think Tua is going to break through." Man, I'm glad to hear your sentiments, Irv, because I heard you were a little man, I heard you were a little negative today in the space, and I was like, man, that's a little out of characteristic for Irv. Lou, what'd you think about that,
Hey, man.
man?
Hey, Urban said he was Mr. Negative 2.0, man. Moving forward. That's what
Hey,
the man said.
hey, I heard him say that. I guess he was trying to troll y'all, but man, I guess Mr. Negative got to him, man. I think the Wolfpack is slowly wearing on people. And honestly, in these during the off season, bro, the wolf pack does start to wear on you a bit. They do start to wear you down and make you a little negative. So don't let them get you in your feelings, man. Don't let them get you in your feelings. All right, it's gonna be all right, bro. Definitely gonna be all right. But
Hey,
Lou,
hey,
man.
man. Hey, man. Listen, real quick. I got to see my guys in the chat, man. Tony is in the building, right?
Okay, okay. I see G. I see Tony.
Hey,
Tua still holding out. Hey, I see him.
hey, man. Hey, CB. I'm about to send Tony the link, dog. Listen. I think Tony has some good takes, and I think he wants to get in on some of these conversations, dog.
Hey, yeah. And I heard, hey, since we phasing out EM, we might as well kind of add somebody else in the fold because
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we kind of, bro. It's the new age, right? I think certain people
yeah.
had their time, right? And now it's time for a new era, a new new age to kind of come in and take over. You know what I mean?
It's only a matter of time. That's what happened, man. Them boys got to pass the torch to the young gunners, man, and let us rock out. That's what it sounds like to me, man. Yo, he said my mic got the Rona. What is my mic bad? Can y'all hear me? What's going on? I think I lost Lou, but let me know if my mic is bad or if my mic is good. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down on the mic. Irv says he's not Wolfpack. That's funny. Irv, you might be Wolfpack. I think we lost Lou for a second.
Nah. I'm here. You sound perfectly fine to me, CB.
That's what I thought too, man. I don't know what's up with G. G just be talking, man. You know G be all over the place, man. I can't keep up with G, man. Hey, but we got 22 in the building. Do your boy a favor. Hey, punch the like button once you get in here. We're going to start talking about some of what we experienced, some of the narratives out there in Miami Dolphins land. This tour contract has been a big conversation. I don't know why it's that much of a conversation. I think, Lou, I don't get it. Like, what's your thoughts on it? I think people are upset that people are saying, $50 million and stuff like that. Like, what's the deal with this contract, man?
Well, CB, man. I think it's just how do I want to say it, right? It's people lose their mind when they hear this 50 number, and they'll run with that narrative, CB, right? Like, oh my God, Tua's not worth 53, 54 million, which I would agree with, right, CB? But the problem that people run into, I guess the NFL is telling you no quarterback is worth $50 million a year. Because no quarterback is making that, CB. If you go down the list of guaranteed money, the highest is Deshaun Watson at $250 million guaranteed, right? We know it's fully guaranteed. Bro, that averages out to $47 million a year. Jared Goff just got 4 for 170. That averages out to 42 and a half. So what I'm saying, CB, I think Patrick Mahomes is at like 45. Lamar Jackson averages out to like 37, right? They're all the quarterbacks. If you get deemed as one of those guys, a franchise guy, it's just the cost of doing business in the league. Everybody's going to be around 40 to 45, upper to 47, 48. It's just what the going rate is. But there's no quarterback. So the people that lose their mind, CB, oh my God, he's going to get 50 million. There's nobody doing that. Forget about the exaggerated numbers of, oh my God, they're going to give him 265. It's only about the guarantee. And CB, the reason I say that, right? Think about the Tyreek Hill situation now. And this is the point you told me the other day. Tyreek has no more guaranteed money, but he still left 2 years on his deal, right?
Yeah.
What is Tyreek Hill doing? He's asking for a new deal. Why is that? Because players only care about the guarantees. They don't care about the overall number.
They want that cash up front.
They want that cash. So that's why, see, Tyreek, 2 more years, but he's already asking for a new deal because that guaranteed money is gone. And that's all we got to worry about, CB. So if you're telling me is Tua worth anywhere between 40 to 47 million? Absolutely. It's just the going rate of doing business, bro.
And I mean, I always said that. Like, I guess people don't understand the concept of it. It's like, bro, it doesn't matter who you have at quarterback. For the most part, they're gonna get paid between 40 and 47 if they're a starter in the NFL, right? I mean, that's the going rate of business. Don't matter who you got, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, any of these guys. When it comes time to get their deal, they're going to get that type of money. Because that's just the nature of the beast. And I don't think it's personally, it's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money for quarterbacks. It's kind of the going rate. So I'm not really mad at what they decide to do. Well, it can't be that bad. And I think the Miami Dolphins will definitely try to protect themselves with the contract and just kind of put some safeties in there just in case, Tua does get hurt or something like that. But guess what? The homie pulled up. Your boy Tony pulled up. Tony, what's good, bro?
Fellas, what's good, yo?
What's good? What's popping, man? What's your thoughts on this?
What's good, Tony?
What's your thoughts on this tour contract, man?
Well, I'm more under the lines of how Lewis said, but I even taking it more depth. Like when it comes to the contract, right? And I'm all for, when you negotiation, both parties have to be able to give and take. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't care if they put a 6 or a 7 in that, man. In the front of it, it could be 60 million, 70 million. Long as that guaranteed money makes sense and it's no more than like the 40, even if they give him a little bit more than Jared Goff, I'm cool with that. If he's anywhere in the mid 40s, that's fine. I think that's fair for everybody. But if you want to put the 50 something on it just so he could say that he was the highest paid, but we all know it's all about the guaranteed. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? If you got to look good for the public for you to get the job done, then do, because you're not paying that money. It's not.
Yeah.
It's all just for the look of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and if you really regardless of what all the fans think, because I think we start to get in these spaces and we get on these panels on YouTube, right? And we think what we saying is how the team is thinking, like they thinking nothing along the but no, man, they doing. I said this last time. If Chris Greer offer I hope he undercut everybody. If he could get Tua to sign for $20 million a year, I'm good for that. You know why? Because we got more money to sign better players. Now, last time I checked, it was about the team, so you should want what's best for the team. Now, Tony might be low for disrespectful reasons, but I'm just saying, I think if you got the team and and you want what's best for the team, then we should all look on both sides, not just as from the players aspect of it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, when it comes to it, we're still trying to be a winning football team, and it's still about the shield. It's not about one player. We just know, as fans, what the going rate is for quarterbacks, and the numbers are pretty high. I think that's just, the nature of it. So, like you said, I agree with you. As long as Chris Greer gives them the guaranteed money and it's not nothing crazy, I think that's the move to make. Definitely the move to make.
Yeah, everybody they see. I hear, but oh man, Jared Goff just got $53 million. Yeah, but the guarantee was only 42.5.
Yeah,
that's manageable. You know what I mean? So
yeah, as long as you're in that range, yeah. I feel like
if he get paid that 53, right? And who else? Whichever one of these quarterbacks, if they get paid, they full contract, right? Then that's incentive based. That means they earned it. Point blank period. They putting that, they showing up on the field. I know some of them have. It has the team wins, it have playoffs victories, probably reaching a Super Bowl or AFC championship game. This is how you meet those 50. So if they doing that, then essentially they're earning every dime of that contract. So it shouldn't matter what the overall number look like.
100%, bro. Spot on. So we were back to work this week. What were some of the most interesting headlines that you guys heard from OTAs this week? And I'll start with Lou. Lou, you available? Or you tied up with the ice cream, man?
No, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm gonna give you one, CB, that caught my attention. Is Devon Achane, and the words they used were, he was running multitude of routes, different routes.
I've said it before. Say it again.
Achane.
Devon Achane, right? And again, I think we all can agree what he's going to bring from out the backfield, right? I think the second year in, it just looks like he's putting the work on his body, paused a little bit, right? But he's kind of bulked up a little bit. I think he's in for a breakout season, but it was encouraging for me to get that report. And they're saying he's running multiple routes, like different routes. I think you are going to see, I think Mike McDaniel and this Miami Dolphin offense kind of use Achane in a magnitude of different ways. Because we all, listen, CB and Tony, we talk about how dynamic Tyreek Hill is with the ball, right? Devon Achane is the same way, bro. At any point on the field, no matter where it is, it could be at the 1, it could be at the 20, it could be at the 50. With the ball in his hand, he has a chance to hit his head on the goalpost, right? Like, I just think Miami has a plan for this kid, and I know we'll talk a little bit more, but that's my one takeaway, I would say, before we get into some other things. But for me, hearing H.A. is out there running routes, and a magnitude of different routes. It's just not, releasing into the flat. They said this man was all over the field running routes. I think that can only be beneficial for the Dolphins.
I
In my
like
opinion.
it. I like him, and I think that's what Mike McDaniel is looking for in these players. He's looking for guys who you can line up in a multitude of different areas, use them in different packages, and create the mismatches, bro. That's what it's about. Like A-Chain being covered by a linebacker should be unfair. He should be able to get loose in the open field, run a quick route, catch the ball, and get loose. If teams are going to play as man-to-man and they're going to play as zone, hey, you got to be able to expose that shit. You really do. And if you can't take advantage of it and you can't use your weapons to your advantage, bro, it's like you're not really doing yourself, service. So, I mean, offensive versatility is key. You got to use the entire field. You got to be able to use everybody. A-Chain's a special player. Like, when he came in, I was a little disappointed because he's a smaller guy, right? Doesn't have that ability to really run up inside and take that beat like that. But I think his speed on the outside is dynamic, like track speed, right? So I like the thought of bringing him in. It's just that we still need that power element. Hopefully Jalen Wright can give that to us. But I do want to see the Miami Dolphins get more downhill and get more physical too. So A-Chain is a part of that backfield, and we just got to see how Mike McDaniel is going to deploy him. But what's your thoughts on that, Tony?
Well, you talk about the OTAs or what Lewis
Yeah,
said about
what Lewis said about A-Chain.
Well, yeah, I like the fact that they was running the routes from the right because it's the explosiveness, right? And obviously use them as a weapon. So you got a bunch of running backs, and we don't know how long Raheem Mostert is going to be still here. But while we have them, right, you got to find somehow, some way to get all your playmakers involved. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep them happy somehow, some way. So if he could develop in a pure catcher, you know what I mean, and another weapon, because that speed kills. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna have the defensive coordinators up all night, going crazy, trying to, you know what I'm saying, develop a scheme because he's gonna garner attention, especially the way he started off at the beginning of the season, averaging 8 point some yards a catch.
Yeah.
So that's unprecedented right there. So and you could get him coming out of the back. That's a mismatch. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got to use your third cornerback, whether you got to use a safety, whether you got to use a linebacker, that's a mismatch regardless of what. You know what I'm saying? Because he has the type of speed that garners top level defense. You got to have, you know what I'm saying? And you just at some point you can't guard everybody. You can't guard everybody.
So you're right.
That's a whole new different dynamic. But look, I wanted to add this on because I know we love offense, right?
Yeah.
But how about what is it, Anthony Walker?
Anthony Weaver.
No, not the
the Walker. Okay.
And Jordan Poyer, the two additions already paying dividends. Both Walker got a tip interception. You heard Jordan Poyer had a house call. And another thing is you see that all the players, I mean, it's still early, but they tend to be taken to Anthony Weaver real good. That's a good sign because we know it doesn't take a defense as long as it would take an offense to mesh with each other. That chemistry tends to come around a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, when it's on defense. So if you already have them, because once they making plays, that's getting confidence in each other, that's building that camaraderie, you know what I'm saying, building that trust that player is going to be what he need to be. So seeing this already in OTAs, you know what I'm saying, I think it's a good sign that they're already starting to mesh and at least understand the basics of what Anthony Weaver is trying to input. I think that's something big that shouldn't go under the radar.
Man, I think that's a great point. When you look at Anthony Weaver and him coming in, like you could just tell even in the interviews, like the Javon Holland interview, he took some shots at Vic Fangio, but he was also saying like this guy's just super approachable. Like he's a much better person. So, and I think people underestimate that sometimes how relationships have a lot to do with like how cohesive your unit is, right? in your communication with your unit. So I think, coaches who, are on them guys who have high expectations, but they love on their guys, I think those guys get, the best results. And we could be looking at a unit that just blossoms next year because honestly, they had the talent last year to be really good, very good, like top 5 good. But they just couldn't get it together at times. It just seems like the chemistry was a little off at times. It did seem that way. And guys were hurt and stuff like that.
Yeah, it didn't help that there were injuries all over the place.
It didn't help at all. But even through the midst of that, you still got to kind of find a way to make some plays here and there. You can't just kind of sit back and take it. And that's what I didn't like about Fangio's defense is that it just wasn't really aggressive enough. It was a defense that constantly played on defense. They were never on the offensive. They were never attacking. So that was kind of my thought process. But, I mean, Lou, what's your thoughts on this Anthony Weaver situation?
ACB, before I touch on that, right?
Yeah.
We're giving all the Dolphins all this love. Let's give us some love real quick. Pull up JR Black's comments real quick.
What did he say? Is this one right here? Shout out to JR Black, man.
Shout out to
JR Black. Yeah, I'll go ahead. JR Black says, nah, y'all phasing out EM. Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
Hey, respect to Tony H. He keeps it real. This all we care for. Real football takes. Respect to you three, all in the chat who understand the great work you guys are doing, killing narratives. That's all we do, man.
Hey, shout out to you, JR Black.
Just come have some legit conversations, man. Shout out to the homie JR Black for real. But
so let me touch on the Anthony Weaver. Listen, I agree with both of you gentlemen. I think the way this defense, and again, not to bring up Brian Flores, but for the players that were here under that regime, I think they just play better in the aspect of when they're attacking. I think CB, you made a great point at the end. This defense has the ability to attack, right? Be aggressive. Mm-hmm. You look at the Jalen Ramsey of the world, press corner in your face, wants to get down and dirty, mano a mano. I think this defense is going to benefit him greatly. Look at Cater Cole, who his first year under Josh Boyer, right? Blitzing off the edge, being aggressive, playing at the line. Nick Needham when he was under Brian Flores, those guys, just the pass rushers that we have, being able to pin their ears back and go eat. Because what I believe is this offense is going to put a lot of pressure on defenses, right? I think we're going to be able to score points. That's only going to benefit Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb when they get back. We got Mo Kamara, right? You got Chop Robinson in the first round. This defense is built for aggression, and I don't want to take a dump on Vic Fangio because he got the job done, whether we like him or not, or whether we like the scheme or not. For the most part, the defense did its job.
It was solid. Yeah, it was solid.
Right. It was solid.
Average.
Right?
It was average. Yeah, I would say it was average.
Okay. Well. Again, feelings aside or whatever, I would say he with what he was, with what he tried to do, right? Maybe it didn't fit some of the players we had in the building, but for the most part, at least in my opinion, I would say it works. But I do believe Anthony Weaver is going to be more of an aggressive style, hybrid defense, kind of like what we have with Brian Flores. I think you're going to see some 5-man fronts. I think you're going to see some 3-4-man fronts as well. I think it's going to be a variation, and I just like the depth that Chris Greer has put on that defensive line, the upgrades at linebacker that Tony was talking about with Brooks and Anthony Walker Jr. Yeah. I absolutely love those. And bro, I couldn't agree more. I think this defense will hit the ground running. I don't think it's going to be that big of an adjustment period where we're going to have to wait 7, 8, 9 games in for them to click. I think a lot of guys have played in this kind of style system before. Yeah. I think they're good at it, and I think they're going to hit the ground running, bro. I really do.
Bro, I'm with you. And shout out to the homie. I got the homie in the back. TG live in the building. What's good, my boy? How you feeling?
What's good, CB? Long time no see, man. Long time no see.
How you been, bro? How you been?
I'm making, we all doing the same thing, working, grinding every day. That's all we got to do. Today Friday, so we chilling this weekend, but we right back to it Monday.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up, man. We were just talking about the Anthony Weaver situation, man. I know you've been dropping a lot of content, bro. You've been pumping it out, in terms of just everything, coaches, relationships, players, player profiles, all of that stuff, man. What's your thoughts on Weaver and what you're hearing out of camp so far?
Man, what I'm hearing is we're having a hard time adjusting in regards to Jalen Phillips being on the sideline and Bradley Chubb being on the sideline. So right now the rookie's getting a lot of work, Kamara and Chop Robinson.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing. It don't seem like anybody's stepping out in regards to Zach Sealer. I don't think Zach Sealer practiced the other day. I don't think so. But I gotta make sure. But the D tackle number 2s, Davion Nixon, who was Jonathan Harris, Tierra Tart. I've been hearing Tierra Tart, he been out of shape out there. He's not used to the heat, but he went to FIU in Miami, so he should be used to the heat. So he definitely has to get some conditioning in regards to him being right next to Zach Sealer. So that's one thing. In regards to the linebackers, they've been making plays. It seemed like out of all the positions, they've been the main ones that have been keying on in regards to what they got to do. In regards to cornerback, Jalen Ramsey, he not practicing. So right now the backup's getting a lot of PT. You seen Cater Kohu get the orange jersey. So that basically means like he's taking advantage of his opportunity out there.
We did see that, and that's a good point, bro. You brought up the orange jersey. So we saw Cater Kohu get it, and we saw David Long Jr. get it, right?
Yeah.
Did anybody else get it? Did we see an offensive guy get it yet?
Austin Jackson got it.
Ooh, Austin Jackson got it. Okay, that's what's up. But yeah, DG, man, I appreciate your input on that, man. When we look at the Miami Dolphins defense, bro, we were talented last year. We had a ton of talent. Now it's just a matter of putting it together. And that's with the amount of like veterans you have out during OTAs, the young guys are going to get a lot of reps. It's going to be a lot of learning. The veterans, this is like classroom work for them, right? Being able to go out there running shorts, get to your positions. It's a good opportunity for the young guys to just get some run, man. Get acclimated to the system, get acclimated to the weather and everything, man. But Lou, what was another? Did you have any other thoughts? Any narratives that are going on right now in the Miami Dolphins community we wanted to address?
Were you talking to me?
No, Lou. Yeah, Lou. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Lou.
This one might be a little controversial, but you know how I like to do CB.
Let's do it.
I heard through the grapevine, right? A little birdie tapped on my shoulder, and told me that Skyler Thompson has put up his house for sale in Miami.
Bro, you're
I'm gonna run with the narrative, CB. And we in Miami, they let out the video. It was only one pass, but again, this dude Gavin Hardison, right? Like, I think without the Tommy John surgery, I think people had said he was going to be maybe considered a late 3rd, maybe early 4th round pick. Right? We get him as an undrafted rookie. So obviously the kid comes with some talent. I would say from just a pure arm standpoint, and again, no shot at Tua, but he does have the strongest, most live arm in that room right now. Right? Now, is he a finished product? By no stretch of the imagination, he's not ready now. But if you look at when we signed him as a UDFA, they guaranteed a lot of that contract. And I just think that Skyler Thompson could possibly be in trouble. Because if I'm Mike McDaniel and I'm looking at it, we've already had 2 years of Skyler. It hasn't really, there's been some flashes here and there. But for the most part, I think we can all tell it's probably not going to work out. I think there's a chance. And again, if we're going to keep 3, right? I think it could be Mike White, don't get me wrong, but just to kind of troll a little bit, I know there's some of the Skyler guys that we have in the chat, they're not going to like me so much, but I'm going to say it right now. I think Gavin Hardison is the reason Skyler Thompson put his house up for sale. I think, hey, CB, I think the internet has been cut off in South Florida, and I mean Skynet. God damn it! I think Skynet. I think Skynet is over, and
Oh,
Gadden
man.
Hardison is going to make this roster. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I'm gonna let Tony go first. Go ahead, Tony. Address this.
Hey, Lewis, is he mobile?
Hey, Tony. They call. Hey, the rumor has it. First week of OTAs, they're calling him Baby Allen. That's what they're calling him.
Okay, so he mobile. That means we can do quarterback sneaks. He got a big arm. Why he say he got a big arm?
We could do everything. We could. Gavin can do no wrong, Tony.
Naked bootlegs. Can he throw off the run? What about off platform throws?
Yeah, he can do that. He can do that.
They say Tony. They say the man can do it all. And I honestly, I have heard this story before. This is my second. This is my second go round, Tony. This is my second go round, Tony. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, it ain't even a question at this point. The question is, how long it gonna take before we get Mike White and Skyler Thompson out the building? I'm just saying. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. This man look like the next coming to Josh Allen. So we might well crown him right now. We need to worry about the people thinking he gonna take Tua jobs. Is this the competition we talk about Tua need? This is what I want to know, Lou.
That's what they say. Hey, Lou, is that what they saying? Is this the competition Tua needs, bro?
Well, no. Again, I don't think. Let's calm down, gentlemen.
If you go jump out the window, might well jump all the way out, right?
Right. Hey, let's just dip our toes in the water. Let's not go all the way in, right?
Hey,
but
again, Pete hasn't jumped on board yet. Pete ain't jumped on.
Pete. Listen, Pete is gonna rock with any other quarterback besides Tua. We all get it. But
shaking in his boots
again,
yeah,
right. Oh, he's shaking in his boots for sure. But listen, without trolling, right? Again, it's what I think the Dolphins would look at is the upside, right? Like Skyler Thompson, there was no real reports when he was coming out that he was going to be a third, fourth round pick. This kid is. There was a legitimate shot that this kid was going to get drafted without the Tommy John surgery. Again, from a talent standpoint, he has everything you want. So if we're going to be betting on upside, right? Now, he needs work. But if we all trust Mike McDaniel and some of the guys that we have in the building, I just think when you look at it from a pure talent perspective, I think this kid is something you would bet on. And again, just read between the lines. Remember what happened with Skyler Thompson? It was the same thing. We got Skyler. We guaranteed most of that contract, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with this kid. And I think the writing's on the wall for Skyler, man. Unless Skyler comes out and blows us away in OTAs and training camp and preseason, and usually, he does. But I don't know. I think this kid is gonna put some good work in, and I think ultimately, I think this kid does make the roster.
Hey, look, if we put all children aside, right? Let's stop children. But what I think they could do, right? Because I don't think they're gonna carry 3. I know a lot of y'all saying that. I don't think so. I think they're only gonna carry 2. So I think he is the type of guy that you could hide on the practice squad. You get what I'm saying? He's a late round draft pick. He coming off the injury, the surgery. So everybody knows he's a project. I don't think nobody's gonna poach him. I think hands down they will
poach though, Tony. The reports.
I don't know about that right
there. Listen. They will poach Skyler Thompson before they poach him.
Oh, okay. You think so?
Yes, they would. They would. It's too many people. They want to see what he got. If use him for bait, let them pick him. We got a lot of D tackles. We got a lot of receivers. You get what I'm saying? I don't think we have the luxury of carrying, unless they carry less tight ends than because I think we carry 3 last season, right? Tight ends on the roster.
Yeah, and I think we got
I think it was 4
or 5.
No, I think it was 4. I think it was 4, right? What?
Julian Hill, Durham Smythe, who else?
Tanner Connor and that guy Croft. They all made it.
But I don't think was he on the roster though?
I think Croft was on
He was back and forth practice squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I think so then they got room. So if they only carry let's say 2 or 3 tight ends, maybe But at this point, like all joking aside, at this point, I don't think he did enough for somebody to be like, okay, let's poach him. You know what I'm saying? That's just in my opinion. I think Skyler Thompson and listen, I know one thing: they would approach Mike White before they do any of that. So if we keep Skyler and Galvin and let Mike White go, we could save a lot of money in that. That could be an option as well. You get what I'm saying? So who knows? Let's see.
Yeah, let's see, man. Guess who decided to show up? We actually trying to phase this guy out, but he still comes around a little bit.
Who?
Hey, man.
Who the hell is that?
You know, CB.
Hey,
you know damn well what did I tell you whenever I pull up? You don't ever keep me backstage. You know that. So all right, let it be known. Let it be known.
I had a backstage for about 10 minutes.
Oh yeah. You're doing that on purpose. But hey, man.
I had to put him on ice for a little bit.
You know what though? But that's cool. But I told you, bro. You want to commit YouTube suicide? Well, keep doing that. Keep doing shit like that. So, yeah. What's good, fellas? What's going on?
What's good, man?
Ian, what's good, my brother?
Man, hey, bro. Full as a tick. Just got home about 30 minutes ago. Had a nice evening with my lovely wife and chilling, man. I said, I pulled my I had really forgot that you had went live, CB, for real. So I had turned on YouTube grabbed my phone for a minute. I was like, oh snap, forgot they was live. So I said, let me jump on here and see what they talking about. So I see y'all struggling tonight. So I definitely hopped on here to give y'all a little help. So you know how we do it. So
I think people are slowly leaving right now, bro. I see.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Watch them numbers go through the roof.
The production.
Watch them numbers start to go up.
The production of the show, the value of the show has definitely went down. But EM, since you're here, right? Hey, since you're here though, EM, right? I don't know if the birdie reached all the way to Texas, right? But a little birdie tapped me on my shoulder in Florida. I was just telling DG, Tony, and CB. And dog, rumor has it, Skyler Thompson has a for sale sign outside of his house in South Florida. EM, did that little birdie cross Texas?
Well, hey man, listen. I talked to a real estate agent the other day, and she politely informed me that word on the street down there. I don't know what the address is, but she's hearing there has been, it looks like somebody's putting their house up for sale, and it might be that man, that third string quarterback. So we should definitely stay tuned and pay attention to that situation moving forward. But yeah, so I heard kind of the same thing, bro.
Man, the Wolfpack is gonna be mad at that if Skyler is let go or moved. Bro, you just don't know the type of wrath that we gonna hear, bro. Because their narrative right now is that he played better than Tua in the playoff game, so he deserved to be the starter right now. That's what they're saying. So. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, like really, in all seriousness, we troll them for the most part. But Lewis and I, we had that conversation, because we both had our kind of eye on him quietly since we signed him as an undrafted, since the draft, since we signed him as an undrafted free agent. And you look at Skyler, we've had just going on his third year. We've had 2 years of Skyler. We saw him in the preseason when his rookie year, he flashed a lot of potential, right? And but it just hadn't translated to Sunday, right? So Skyler, we've had 2 years of him. He's been 2 years in his offense, and generally, when you have developmental guys, and I'm not saying 100% that Skyler is out of there, right? They're going to cut him, and this kid is going to take his place, but when you talk about developmental guys, right? Yeah. 2 years with Skyler going on 3, they've got a good enough look, I feel, right? Well, let me say this. If it was me, if I'm Mike McDaniel, I'm Chris Greer, I'm any member of the coaching staff, I'm looking at Skyler. We know what we have with him. I think, Skyler might be hitting his head on his ceiling. But But when you talk about developmental guys and extending patience to guys and allowing them to develop, we've seen 2 years of Scott already. This kid, right? He's easily, right, the most talented player on the roster. That's no shade at any of the, Tua, Mike White, or Scott, but he's just the most physically talented. He's the most physically gifted quarterback in that room right now. So he is raw. He's a developmental guy. He's coming off of, that Tommy John surgery at some point. I don't know exactly when it was and how that, the time frame of that was. But when you talk about developmental guys and extending you generally want to extend the most patience to the more talented players. You know what I mean? If a player that you have hasn't shown you enough within the time frame that you've allotted to him. So when it comes down to Skyler and this kid, I can see a scenario where, again, you've seen 2 years of Skyler, you know what you have, but this kid is like twice, 2 to 3 times as talented as Skyler. I can see them cutting bait with him and giving this kid an opportunity, because if they can coach him up, they can coach up, because his mechanics and he's very raw, right? All over the place when you look at his tape. But the talent is there. You see how the arm comes off comes out of his hand. You see the off-platform throws. You see the ability to get out and extend plays.
Bro, I heard it before with Skyler, bro.
Listen, well, okay, well that's fine. I'm not saying the kid is going to be QB1. What I'm saying is, if I'm a coach on this staff, if I'm Mike McDaniel, I've seen 2 years of Skyler. Again, we've given him 2 years. I'm willing to cut bait for a more talented option. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And this kid has that.
And I think, every year you should be bringing in quarterbacks. I think that's just a part of, your roster and the turnover. Like, you should be bringing in guys to, compete, especially for second and third spots. Like, you want to get strong guys. And, that's what you're trying to do at every position. You can't go out and get the best quarterbacks to compete because they cost a lot of money, but you can draft guys and bring guys in the building for sure.
And there's nothing wrong with that, bro. Like this is what they should be doing. Yeah. So if you got a guy that you think is talented, might have a higher upside, and again, Skyler's shown you nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Look, Skyler's shown you a little bit. It hasn't been enough, in my opinion.
No, Skyler has shown you nothing. When he got an opportunity with Tyreek Hill, with Jalen Waddle, with all of these same skill position players, right? He graded out as the worst quarterback in the last 30 years. No, he's shown you nothing. He's shown you nothing.
He played bad. I'm not mad at that. I could also say Tua played bad in Kansas City, and like that. These are kind of things you have to take into consideration, and that's why I try to be fair with it. They both have had bad games. Tua has shown much more as a quarterback, for sure. There's no question that Tua is a better quarterback than Skyler Thompson. But I do think there's room for the room being better. Like, you can constantly draft guys, bring in competition, try to push guys. And I think that's part of it. Definitely part of it.
It sounds like CB feeling some type of way about moving off of Skyler. Are you? You remember?
It does sound like that.
You signed up for your subscription for Skynet? Is that what you're saying, CB?
Definitely not.
You remember Skynet right now?
I just sympathize with guys. I know these guys are still young players in the NFL too. Quarterback is a hard position to learn. Everybody don't have that ability when they come into the league, bro. It's not. You gotta show it. You got to show it when you get in there. He's had some flashes, but just not enough.
No, Skyler's shown you nothing, bro. He's shown you nothing.
Well, it's not even that though, CB. And I hate doing it, but I got to give EM a little credit here because I completely agree with him in the aspect of if you're gonna bet on, because Skyler's still developing as well, right? I think we can all agree on that.
Still developing, yeah.
Then if you got two guys in the room that are developing, you're always, at least for me, and hopefully the Dolphins would be thinking the same way, you go with the more talented player. Yeah. And at the end of the day, bro, again, without question, Gavin is the more talented player. Like, I'm going to bet he would be a way cheaper option, even though Skyler's not breaking the bank by no stretch of the imagination either. But this kid is virtually making zero amounts of money, and you would just have him on the roster for longer. like again, if Skyler's not in your future plans, let's say,
Yeah.
like what are we doing here? Might as well cut bait and see what this kid can do. I just think again, he has everything you want now. To Ian's point, very raw, right? Very, very raw. Needs a lot of work. But I think in the situation he would come into in Miami, especially if Skyler was out of the building, I think Tua has shown you enough. You feel comfortable with Tua. Mike White would definitely be the emergency option. And you could just stash this kid away and get him, to use your word, CB, put that kid in the lab. Stash him, hide him, and just be working with him, right? Put him in the system and throw things at him and see what you got, man. And that's just where I'm at with it, CB.
And I mean, we're talking about the third team, the third string quarterback. It's not like we're talking about legit number 2, legit number 1. Again, like I said, bro, like Skyler, I've seen enough for Skyler 2 years. And, not that I had the expectation of Skyler being QB1 at some point. But,
you
man,
sure about that? You sure
yeah,
about that?
yeah, I'm positive. Yeah, I'm positive. You asking the wrong one. Yeah, I'm positive on that. But, bro, like you can't, bro. They're grooming you to be the number 2 guy. You can't beat out Mike White. No,
Yeah,
I've seen it. I'm willing. Again, I'm willing to bet on this kid's upside. I'm willing to make that move. And again, cut bait with Skyler and put him back on the practice squad.
Hey, CB.
Yeah.
CB, I got some stats for you. Okay.
Yeah, give me the stats.
Because I did drop a video about what is it, Hardison, the quarterback. Okay. And I think his career stats, he threw 43 touchdowns and 33 interceptions, 7,000 yards. So it seemed like he a little bit reckless with the ball. That's his only issue. So if Mike McDaniel could carve out the interceptions, he might have a shot. I feel like they had their eye on him ever since the draft. I feel like they would have drafted somebody in like the 5th or 6th round, but we doubled up with receiver instead of getting another quarterback. So I guess they targeted him as a UDFA, and I guess that's just going to be competition for Skyler Thompson. If they needed competition for Mike White, they probably would have got somebody in the 6th or 7th round. If it was Tua, probably somebody in the 2nd round, maybe even 1st. Like people were saying, Michael Penix was going to drop and all that. So I feel like Mike Daniel knew what he was doing when he targeted Hardison.
Makes sense, bro. I mean,
he was projected to go in the 4th round if he hadn't had that surgery. He was projected to go in the 4th round. So, but he dropped, he slid, and to your point, I think they probably did have their eye on him at some point. But again, he had that surgery and that kind of caused him to slide. But at the end of the day, man, he is raw. His decision making is all over the place. He's not as mechanically nowhere near neat. He's mechanically he's where he needs to be. But again, put him as a 3rd string guy, the scout team quarterback, and just groom him and start developing him. And I think when you look at the physical upside, if you can coach him and really get him more fundamentally sound, you might have something on your hands. Maybe not QB1, because I think Tua's playing at an extremely high level now. That would be like take a Kurt Warner type astronomical rise up the depth chart for him to even be considered to take, be a legitimate threat to Tua. But you can definitely have your legitimate number 2 guy on your hand, to kind of back up Tua at some point.
Yeah, man. I think. I mean, that's what you're doing. Like you're trying to find the best guys on the roster, and I mean, if guys aren't cutting it at the 2 and 3 spot, you got to find a way to make that room better and constantly bringing in competition. I think it's necessary at all positions, and I think that's why you got 2 edge defenders, in the draft, and that's why you got 2 receivers in the draft, because you need guys to push those other guys and compete, bro. I think that's what it's about right now, is just building the best Miami Dolphins roster you can build. And I think from 1 to 55 or 53, wherever we need to be, like we need to be, I feel like a more complete team, right? I feel like we are top heavy. We have great players up top, but when they go out of the games, it kind of becomes difficult for us, right? We need guys that. And I think that's what the OBJ move was. Just, hey, let's find a way to get better players on the roster. Like, make our 3 position a real threat. Make our 3rd wide receiver a real threat, right? Let our 3rd receiver be have the potential to be a second option, or if he does blow up one game, let him be, because he's explosive. So just give him the option to get the ball so he can go do his thing. So I think that's what it's about now. It's just making the roster better in other areas, like everywhere.
Hey, CB, real quick, right? You see what the homie Cruz, shout out to another guy coming in the building, but you see what Cruz just put in the chat?
What did he say? Hey, salute to the panel. Ian is a hoe. Y'all boys, wow.
Oh man, that's
crazy. That's real cute. That is real cute. I gotta admit it. That is real cute. I don't even know who that is, bro.
Chat is wilding tonight. But I got a question for you guys, man. I mean, like, let's talk about this division a little bit. With the Miami Dolphins being where they are right now, like, is this the year for the Miami Dolphins in terms of, like, getting over the hump, winning the division, getting a home playoff game?
Hell yeah. CB.
Is this the year? Now, and just tell me a little bit of why you think that's the case.
Hell yeah, CB.
And we can talk on the Jets. We can talk on the Bills a little bit. We can talk on the Patriots. Like, why do you think this is the year to do it, to get it done?
If I may go first, well, we just had this conversation.
And be quick. Land that damn.
Well, plane, hey man, land
that damn.
You trying to get your numbers up or what? Is that what you trying? That's what you're trying to do, right? You. So listen, I just think the last 2 years we all know how bad injuries have really plagued this team. We know that the postseason we were not at full strength. Tua missed games. 2 years ago, 5 games he was out or whatever. And then last year he played 17 games. But man, it's like the injury, that black cat shifted from the offense to Tua and went over to the defense. Right. And we all know how that we were decimated by injuries last year defensively. But I just think, and you see this, throughout the years, some teams are just snake bitten for a certain amount of time, 1 year, 2 years, and then all of a sudden, Lady Luck is on their side at some point. We saw that with the Baltimore Ravens, more recent history. Like, they had a 2-year window where they were just decimated by injuries, and then finally they got healthy last year, and things fell in their way, and they were fortunate enough to get to an AFC Championship game. So I think it's just our time. Enough is enough as far as the black cat stuff and us being so injury riddled. And I just think Tua going into year 3, it all starts with the quarterback. That. We all know that. And I think this is going to be Tua's definite, legitimate MVP-worthy campaign, right? I think 3 years in Mike McDaniel's offense, Tua looks the part, like he's in the most, the best physical shape that we've seen him as a Miami Dolphin. He seems to be really laser focused. You look him out there. I don't know if y'all saw the clips that they put out of him working out with Tyreek and Waddle and other receivers. And he just looks like he's assuming that leadership role a little more. Maybe they're just, maybe he's always been that and they're just releasing that information a little more, making that information a little more public now, maybe. I don't know. But he seems to be, embracing that leadership role. And I just think the talent acquisition that they brought in the offseason, a lot of people thought we took a step back with Christian Wilkins leaving, Robert Hunt leaving, Xavier Howard leaving. I think Chris Grier, we did let those players go, but I think Chris Grier did an excellent job of replenishing that talent. And I even think we got better overall as a team. Now, there are some question marks at a few key positions, but I think we'll be fine, with the additions of Kendall Fuller, with the additions of Jordan Brooks, Anthony Edwards Jr. I think we'll be fine, bro. I think we're an overall better team overall. And I just think it's luck. I mean, again, at some point, that bad luck has to run out, bro. You know what I mean? It has to. And I just think this is going to be the year, bro.
I like it. Lou, what's your thoughts, man?
I'm going to take it from a different angle. I'm gonna go the Mike McDaniel route. I kind of touched on it a little bit today on X and a little backstage last night with a couple people, right? I think, and again, let me preface by saying, by no stretch of the imagination am I calling for Mike McDaniel's job. I believe in Mike McDaniel. I like what he's doing. I like the system. But I do believe every time that ass of his touches that seat, it's hotter and hotter, because the fact remains to EM's point, I think injuries has derailed this team a lot the last 2 years, right? But I think Mike McDaniel, when he first came in, it's building relationships, right? Getting guys to buy into the system, to buy into him. But now, developing the culture, right, CB? But now, 3 years in, I think that culture is already developed. And let's just call a spade, bro. Chris Greer and the Miami Dolphins have put a roster in front of this gentleman, again, a first-time head coach, by the way, right? And I think the expectation for Mike McDaniel and this team is to win. And I think this year is the year that Mike McDaniel will have not so much the approach of, again, he's always going to be a player's coach, right? I'm not trying to say he's going to turn into a Brian Flores or a Vic Fangio type coach. Yeah, but I think the players will feel the urgency that he has. Because I think the writing is on the wall. Not that his job might be in jeopardy, but again, with this amount of talent, the resources that this team has put in, I think Mike McDaniel realizes he has to have success with this team. And winning games is cool and stuff. It's all good. We all get it. 4 straight winning seasons, 2 back-to-back playoff seasons, right? But you have to start getting over the hump. And I think the players are fully bought into Mike McDaniel. I think they love this gentleman. And for me, I don't think Tua, Tyreek Hill, just Jalen Ramsey's of the world. I think they're going to run through a wall for this guy. And once they feel the urgency that he has, right, I think we all get it, right? Pressure busts pipes. And I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think pressure is going to create a diamond. I completely agree with EM. I think this is the year Miami finally gets over the hump. But I think it's because of the, let's call it aura or presence of Mike McDaniel. I think this is the year, 3 years in. I think this is where you finally get his stamp of approval on this football team. And I just think the players rally around him. And for that reason and that reason alone, I think the Miami Dolphins win this division and get playoff success.
I like it. Hey, real quick, we got to shout out to homie Cruz Ruiz in the building.
Who? Yeah. Who was that?
Stop playing with my dog.
Who was that, dog? Hey, I never met that gentleman. Never met him. But hey, man, salute to that man.
Hey, shout out to the homie Cruz. He says, y'all appreciate the content. Go Fins. We outside. Hey, shout out to homie Cruz, man. Let's go ahead. Let's get it, Tony. What's your thoughts?
Hey,
well, the Miami Dolphins have success this year, bro.
Listen, we gonna keep this nice and simple. We ain't gonna we not beat around the bush, bro. 2020-21, end of the season, they laid an egg in Tennessee and then Buffalo back to back.
Yeah,
didn't make the playoff. 2022, they dropped 5-0. Granted, Tua was injured, but they had to win one more game. You get what I'm saying? To have a better playoff season, right?
Yeah.
But and then this season, all the big games. What else? The reason they're gonna be successful because there's no more excuses. Point blank, period. Like, how often are we gonna go into these big games, right, and have these statement games, and we always drop the ball, or we seem to be the team to come up short? You know what I'm saying? You got to live through adversity. You got to learn how to fight through it. So I think they had 2 years in a row when they came to these big games and they came to the last, one game here and there, and they constantly come up short. There's no excuses this season. The Patriots, they got a rookie quarterback. We've been beating them. The Jets, we don't know how Aaron Rodgers is gonna look, right? They added Mike Williams, but we've been owning them.
Yeah.
The big bad bully, it seems to be. They lost Stephon Diggs. They dealing with a whole new receiving corps for the most part. I mean, Shakir what his name? Khalil
Shakir.
He showed up like towards the end of the season or whatever, but for the most part, they got 2 tight ends, Khalil and they trying to hype up
Dalton Kincaid.
No, not Kincaid.
Did they draft him?
Coleman.
Keon Coleman.
They're trying to hype him up. You see him all over there. But at the end of the day, we got our core players. They added some depth on defense. They added Odell Beckham. They added a tight end that looked like he's going to be more of a threat, more people that garners more attention.
And John, yep.
You know what I'm saying? So there's no more excuses because we're now, and you see how they're trying to use HN, right? So at the end of the day, the only thing they have to do is put it together, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. Like it's no excuses. We could say what we want. We could do what we want. At this point, Mike McDaniel had 2 years to understand. You know what I'm saying? The end game adjustments. You know, just the season. I think you got that got to show up. Tyreek Hill, you had 2 years dropping balls in key games. This is the season that that can't happen. You know what I'm saying? Jada Waddle, the same thing. This is the season that can't happen. Our running back room. You went and got depth. So if they do go down, we still can be explosive. So I think by them, the additions that we added on, look at on the defense and offense, took away the excuses with the depth and the lack of talent behind our main weapons. So at this point, they have no choice, bro. It's all there set for them to get it done. So that's it, bro.
I mean, I like it. No excuses, get it done. Real quick, shout out to the homie, the Wayne D Experience with the $5 donate. My man says the reason it's our year to his third year in the same offense, more than anything, we have depth on both sides. It's my coaching year. Injuries aside, glow. Hey, appreciate you, homie. Shout out to Wayne D with the $5 donation. That's the homie. Shout out to the homie Wayne D, man. But DG, it's on you, bro. What's your thoughts, man? Is it the Miami Dolphins year? What's your thoughts, man?
I'm sorry I gotta go against everybody, but I got to, man.
Here we go.
I'm the only one. Everybody else said we're gonna be good this year, so I gotta get my case, you know. So I do love this team. I do want us to go far. But I do feel like our O-line, we're still not good enough. You know, I've been hearing like some tackles been rotating in at center. You know, that worries me right there, the middle of the O-line. If we get that fixed, I'll be more confident with the team. But until then, I don't know, man, because I feel like with Tua, all you got to do is give him some time and everything else is going to work. You got Odell out there, Waddle, Tyreek, but just please fix the O-line. You know, all the other teams did what they had to do. You know, Justin Herbert, you know, they just got Jim Harbaugh. You know, he going to fix the O-line. Joe Burrow, he got the biggest O-line in the whole league right now with Trent Brown, Orlando Brown. I think that's the other guy's name. And they got Marius Mims.
They got studs.
Yeah, they're helping him. You see Jordan Love, he got protection over there. And then it just feels like that's the main thing. If that gets fixed, I'll be more confident in regards to the team. You know, going far, I want to see us be physical with teams. I see what the Jets doing. You know, I was analyzing their draft, and I noticed one thing that the Jets did. They made their team more physical, more strength. Like Malachi Corley, you know, the receiver out of Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
He put up 27 on the bench. A receiver. They got Braylon Allen, the dude that's just like Derrick Henry. So they about to pound the ball. They're going to have some bullies out there. They got Mike Williams. You know, we don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to be. I get it. But at the same time, they fixed that O-line in front of them. You know, I hope it don't happen again. 4 plays he out. I don't know if that's going to happen. That was like God talking to us right there. That kind of helped us out because we don't know what the Jets going to be this year. So out of all the teams, I'm more worried about the Jets than the Bills. You know, like y'all said, the new receivers. So I feel like we could get like 2nd seed or 1st seed. You know, that's my prediction right there.
And I'm with you. I think, the Miami Dolphins are in a peculiar situation where it seems like the division they're trying to get better, but there's also teams who are the top dogs who are kind of stagnant. Like it seems like the Bills really aren't kind of doing what they need to do to kind of win football games, right? It seems like they're trading away some of their best players and losing some of the veteran presence that they had on that roster. Now, a lot of the Bills fans will tell you, "Oh, those were old guys. We don't need those old guys like Poyer and stuff like that." But those guys are important to the locker room. It's just important to the culture. And we see the type of fire he may bring to the Dolphins locker room. So that could be a plus. But I mean, the Jets is a question mark. We know that. Like, we just don't know what they're going to do because we don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to stay healthy. We don't know how he's going to perform. But what I do know is if you get into him, right, and you're making it difficult on him, he'll struggle. And I think that's where the Miami Dolphins just have to like be a more aggressive, more physical football team. I do feel like they are somewhat neglecting the offensive line a little bit. And I want to, and I wanted to get you guys' take on this in terms of the offensive line. Now, I'm a big proponent. I kind of understand where Mike McDaniel is, right? I feel like he thinks he can get guys in here to run his system, run his scheme, and he can hide guys. It's almost like hiding guys in your scheme, right? You keep the offensive line heavy on their hands, like you keep them in like run protection, right? Like slide protection, stuff like that. And it kind of hides guys. It's not leaving them one-on-one by themselves on the island. Now, if you're dropping back and you're doing man protection, that's kind of putting guys, exposing them a little bit, right? It's difficult because those guys are flying off the ball as defensive linemen, and they are trying to get hands on the offensive lineman right away. So I can see Mike McDaniel saying, hey, I don't need the best offensive line. I need just athletic guys who can run, get after it, and be a little physical within my scheme. But, I mean, what do you guys feel about this? So I'm going to start with Luke. Do you feel like at this point they are neglecting the offensive line, or do you feel like Mike McDaniel kind of has a plan of how he wants to approach this?
Yeah, listen, I'm not as bad as DG, right? Like, if you bring in somebody, am I going to be mad? No. But I think with Butch Berry showed, I think it was like 13 different offensive lineups last year.
Yeah,
Miami had to run with. For the most part, bro, they were not bad, right? I think as fans, especially in this fan base as well, we just get crazy. Oh my God, it's the offensive line. It's always, if you look at it, it's not, right? And again, I think with this scheme, you want athletic offensive linemen that can get to the second level. CB and EM, we kind of touched on it in the conversation we were having the other day. Jack Driscoll, right? The guy we got from Philly. Uber athletic, right? Austin Jackson, uber athletic. Even Teron Armstead, right? At this stage of his career, still uber athletic. And I just look at the overall offensive line. I think we'll be fine, bro. Again, are they the best? No. But one thing that kind of caught my eye when I, doing a little research. Do you know how many first rounders or guys with high draft picks the 49ers have on their offensive line?
They got Trent Williams.
The only one they traded for, Trent Williams.
They had Trent Williams, and they traded for him. They never do it neither, but they've been one of the most consistent offensive lines in the league because of coaching. And I do believe Mike McDaniel being a run game coordinator, that's his bread and butter. Butch Berry as well. I just think we'll be fine. And especially look at the backfield, right, that we have. Look at A-Chain, Mostert, this kid Jalen Wright. We got all guys that basically real good vision, can hit the hole. And we know if we can get any one of these offensive linemen to hit the second level, if Mostert, A-Chain, or Jalen Wright can get to the second level, fellas, without getting touched, they're hitting their head on the goalpost, bro. It just is what it is. So, again, would I be mad if we brought someone in? No. But at this point, am I overly concerned, like, oh, my God, the sky's falling? No, I don't believe that to be the case neither. I think Tua does a good enough job to get the hand or the ball out of his hand quickly. And I do think as well that he probably will try to get out of the pocket a little bit more this season. I think that's an element Tua has been working on to kind of maybe extend some more plays. So, I guess it was long-winded, but just to finish up, CB, I would say as of now, no, I'm not overly concerned with offensive line.
Well, I think that's good thoughts. I mean, I think we're kind of in between that. Some people are concerned, some people aren't. Some people are just kind of waiting to see how it plays out, right? Tony, what's your thoughts, bro?
I don't think, like, when it comes to the O-line, I don't think we had a performance problem. I think it's more of a health issue, and I mean, if they wait for post June and get a little bit more depth, I mean, they brought Isaiah Wynn back. They brought in Aaron Brewer,
Mm-hmm.
Jack Driscoll. You know what I'm saying? So at least I don't think they neglecting. No, I don't think they had not. Have they made moves that we all wanted them to make? Probably not. But and that's why they're the GMs. I mean, if they bring in another guy too, bro, I think to help out with the depth, I'm cool with that. But my main issue is, bro, they just if they stay healthy, it was never a problem that they can't perform. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It always been a problem when players start going down. You know what I mean? So I'm not too worried about it at all.
And I think that's a good point. Like players start going down, and that's where like your depth has to be better, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't expect 3 offensive linemen to go down. I don't think you ever expect that much, right?
Mhm.
But you need to have some guys behind them who can kind of step in and fill in and be, decent. Like we need to be kind of better than serviceable because we're trying to go win a championship. I mean, that's ideal. But I mean, and that's where I think drafting a guy like, Patrick Paul, I mean, I think that's why you draft him, because you just are worried about guys going down. You're worried about the future. You're gonna lose 2 guys. You're gonna lose Kendall Lamb, and you're gonna lose probably Teron Armstead. So you got to start preparing for the future as far as the offensive line goes. But
Aaron Brewer, he already been on the sideline training. Like he's getting injured already. So I'm a little bit worried about him. He on the slimmer side. So when he go up against like Quinnen Williams from the Jets, who else? Ed Oliver, Davion. You remember the guy who used to play for us and he went to the Patriots?
Yeah.
Him.
So I mean,
he's gonna have a tough time.
Yeah, and that's I think that offensive line just needs to kind of stay healthy. They got to find a way to stay healthy, man.
Well, let me ask you that. Let me ask real quick, CB. DG, what was your opinion of Christian Wilkins? You think he was one of those guys?
In regards to like being like a leader on the team, or like that top dogs?
Top dog.
Well. The only reason I'm asking, right, because I heard you bring up Aaron Brewer. If you go back and look at the tape from last year against Tennessee, bro, there was multiple times in that game in one-on-one matchups, Aaron Brewer was absolutely standing up Christian Wilkins at the line. Like standing them up. There was multiple times where they tried to run stunts, and Aaron Brewer was standing up Christian Wilkins, then sliding either to the left or the right to pick up Zach Skyler as well. I just think, again, to your point, it's a little concerning that, there might be some injuries here lingering, right, or popping up. But I do believe that Aaron Brewer, again, I forgot to even mention him. You want to talk about a monster getting to the second level. That is him. And I don't know. So I guess what I'm asking, DG, if he's healthy, are you still concerned with Aaron Brewer like at center?
Yeah, I'm still a little bit concerned because, like I said, he's on the smaller side, and let's say you like lifting weights each week, and you benching 315 a lot of times. You're going to get used to it, but on a smaller guy, you might end up getting injured to the certain point, like going up against Christian Wilkins 16, 17 games at 270, 280, you might end up getting injured, and he does have an injury history. I'm going to put that along with his size in general, so I still got some concerns in regards to Aaron Brewer, but like you said, my big Daniel, he a good coach. So he's going to be able to scheme up something in regards to where he don't really have to like squabble with like all the power D tackles. We want to see him out there in space making blocks, but we just got to get to that point. The way this offense works, it's definitely going to be beneficial for him. Hopefully like there's not a play as to where he gets like caught up with the old line and then he get injured, because that's how it usually happens. They get caught up, like somebody come and chop their leg, ACL tear or something like that. Teron Armstead, I think that's what happened to him against the Buffalo Bills. Like somebody came, like Liam Eichenberg. He's the one who injured him. Yeah, just getting rolled up. So with Aaron Brewer, I feel like that could be something that could happen. I seen him do good against Christian Wilkins. He a good player, but is he going to be durable enough to go through that all 17 games? We got the same question with Teron Armstead. We don't know if it's going to be all 17 games. And with Patrick Paul, we don't know if he's going to come in and be good or not. We don't know. I'm hoping that he's going to be good. But at the same time, it's just, I'm not too sure. But if we stay healthy, like y'all boys said, we're going to make it far. But if we don't stay healthy, it's not looking pretty. That's why I really want to address the O-line just to make sure we set.
And I think I'm with you there. I mean, I think the main issue with the Miami Dolphins the past few years is just you've just been injury riddled. You got to find a way. And people say, hey, the injuries are a problem, but it's like, why are the injuries a problem? Are they under practicing? Are they not banging enough? I think like those are the questions that Mike McDaniel should be asking himself and like really talking to his staff about, right? I know they have all this research now and all these, they put all these metrics on guys about how much they're running and, you know, when they get hurt. But is Mike McDaniel creating a softer culture getting these guys hurt? Like, and that's, I think those are some of the conversations that need to be had, because if these guys were banging and they were used to it, right? Come Sundays, their bodies are kind of trained for it, right? I think our team is probably one of the cultures that are that's a little bit less strenuous, I would say, right? Guys don't mind being in the building. They don't mind being around. They know Mike McDaniel isn't going to go harder than them or overextend them or force them to do something they really don't want to do. But I want to get your thoughts on this as well. Is Mike McDaniel kind of creating a softer culture leading to the injuries, or do you think it could be something else? And I'll start with you, Lou, on this.
Nah, bro. I mean, come on, bro.
Let's have a conversation. Like, is it a soft culture in Miami? Like, is this a soft culture?
Well, again, the only reason I said no, because you know my feelings, CB, right? And I think you were
what's
trying
your
to set me up with
feelings?
this.
I think the people, the chat want to know your feelings, man.
No, I think you just set me up, but it's cool. I'm gonna answer it anyway.
This ain't no setup.
I'm gonna stand 10 toes, right? But to your original question, is Mike McDaniel creating a soft culture? I would say no. I think the players, again, everybody knows how I feel about Brian Flores, right? Those players were soft when he was there, and he was a tough-minded head coach. I've said it publicly.
He said they were soft when he was there.
I mean, you asked me the question. You said, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it, right?
That's funny.
That's when Holland was hitting. Hitting was Hollering at that time.
Hey, Holland was hitting back then.
He was still petting bald cats though at that time. All I'm saying is, right, like, listen, I know injuries kind of derailed us the last 2 years, but in my opinion, the roster has been good enough to compete with anybody in the league. I just think there's a couple guys on this roster, right? And we don't have to call them out by name because it's not the right time for that right now. But I do believe sometimes when they get punched in the mouth, it just seems like they don't punch back, right? And it, that's what's concerning. It's the same thing in boxing, right? Like, if I look like Kansas City, for instance, right? Kansas City and Miami, when they matched up, two evenly matched teams, right? I would even say roster for roster, Miami probably was a better overall team than Kansas City, right? So that's why I was going to use the boxing analogy. When you get two boxers, great matchup, right? They can both box, they can both counter, they can both do everything you want from a boxer perspective. But when one boxer starts getting hit in the mouth, if they don't react, if they don't have that kind of dog in them, right? Like, and they stop punching back, it kind of goes to a weak mindset, right? Like, and I just think that Miami, when they're playing the Patriots and the Jets and the Carolina Panthers and the Washington Commanders, they're front runners in the aspect of everything's going good. We're going to beat up on you. We're going to show you our dominance. But when the tougher minded teams like the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, our kryptonite Buffalo Bills, even if it's a close game, right? It just seems, go back to week 18, right? 14-14, even when it was 21-14, it just felt like Buffalo was jabbing. Then they threw a left hook. Miami didn't know what to do after that left hook came, right? They were weathering the jabs, but once they got hit with that left hook, they were like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. And I don't think that's a Mike McDaniel problem, CB. I think that's some players, let's just call a spade, bro. Some players have a weak mindset. I'm not saying they're bad football players. I'm not saying they're not tough football players. But from a CB, you played the game. DG, I'm pretty sure you played the game. I played, Tony's played. We've all played the game, right? In some kind of fashion. You got to have, when you play sports, yeah, you could be a physical athlete. You could have all the tools, right? That's cool. But half of the battle is mental. It is mental. And not calling out anybody specifically, I'm not saying all players, but I do believe there is a softer kind of mindset on this football team. And that, for me, it is concerning a little bit. But to answer your original question, no, I don't think Mike McDaniel has created that. I do not believe that.
Man, I thought you hit on some good things, bro. I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's players and coaches. But Tony, what's your thoughts on it? I wanted to get your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I mean, he hit. if okay, let's just go by.
Go ahead, Tony. I need them toes, Tony.
They were complaining. Listen, hold on, Lewis, hold on. They were complaining about the hard coaching. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. You get what I'm saying? We was all, it was all in the fucking media, how they was complaining about Brian Flores being, the TNT wall and all that. That's not coaching, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the players. If I don't, okay, I listen, nobody can make you soft. That's just that you I don't care if the coach is soft. If the coach soft, you're gonna run over him. That's just how, because nobody can make you soft. It has to be in you. So I don't think a coach could create a soft atmosphere. No, the culture, you are who you are. You get what I'm saying? So if you're a dog, you're going to be a dog. So to try to put it on Mike McDaniels, no, if you get injured, injuries happen. So I'm not going to say that the soft culture create injuries, but I would say the people that generally not built like that, and I'm talking about from a physical standpoint, they tend to, if you get nicked up or get injured, that they tend to not play through it as much as the tougher guys, the ones that want to get on the field and play through the injuries and stuff like that. And I think that has nothing to do with coaching, bro. I think it's either you soft or you're not. And I won't put that on the coaches at all.
Yeah, I think you guys have some valid points, for sure. DG, did we get your thoughts on it? What's your thoughts?
Oh, my thoughts, I'm kind of 50-50 about it in regards to if we got a soft culture or not. You could kind of tell the difference in regards to when Brian Flores was here and Mike McDaniel. When Brian Flores was here, Tua, he wasn't really throwing picks as much as he is right now. Tua, he's letting it a little bit more loose because we got Tyreek Hill out there. We got more receivers. Back then we didn't really have that, but at the same time, you can tell like Tua, he didn't want to mess up at all because he didn't want to hear from Brian Flores when he got back to the sideline.
Yeah, but more being like scared gunshot type of attitude.
We see Tua with Mike McDaniel when he go to the sideline, he not tripping, he not stressing. Mike McDaniel, he not gonna yell at him. He gonna pat him on the back. They gonna talk about it. So there's no intimidation there in regards to when he go to the sideline and he mess up. So in regards to the culture being soft, I feel like it's really on the players. Tony said it, bro. He's really on the players. And Mike McDaniel, he gonna do whatever he got to do with the team. Whatever rules he implies. Sometimes he go out there. He's like in the press conferences, the meetings, Hard Knocks. When we seen it, he cussing. If I was sitting there and I heard Mike McDaniel cuss, I kind of wouldn't take him serious. He kind of got like that demeanor as to you can't take him serious. You get what I'm trying to say? Big Fangio, Brian Flores, when he up there, you're not laughing at all. I feel like Mike McDaniel, he's gonna crack a few jokes, try to connect with the players. He a player's coach, but the Eagles, they're saying like we like the old school coaches, Big Fangio. That's what we like. Right here, our coaches, we chilling. Anthony Weaver, he used to be a player. Mike McDaniel, he used to be a player. He a little bit on the younger side. So it just comes with the coaches that we got.
Yeah, and I think it does. I think it comes with, like, you know, the culture and the coaches and the relationships in the building. But I also think on every coaching staff, like, you need some of that bad cop, good
Yeah.
cop element, right?
Mhm.
I mean, there's some guys who just, like we say, some guys do well being talked to and being loved on and stuff like that. Like, that's, you know, there's guys like that, but there's also guys who need that pressure on them. They need to be
Mhm.
yelled at. They need to be, it needs to be high intensity. So I just hope that there's a little bit of both, um, on the coaching staff, because I think that's important to kind of be able to differentiate between, like, different coaching styles and different players and different relationships, because that's important.
Mhm.
So, I mean, people will say, yeah, these guys are coming in the league as millionaires and stuff like that, but these guys still need to be pushed.
Mhm.
You can imagine the language out there in the football field. It's intense. It's high level. I just the injuries bother me, and I know Mike McDaniel is the guy type of guy to, like, to not force guys to play. Like, he'd rather keep them out than do anything. And that's what
Mhm.
I've seen the past couple years, right? I've seen guys, uh, you know, take practices off, have vet time, right? Like, not be out there as much, not be banging as much, and it still has led to a ton of injuries. So it's
But
kind of
that
like it's kind of like you can't keep saying that's the way, and
Mhm.
it's only getting worse. Like, the injuries got worse this past year than the year before, right?
But you see, like I told you earlier, OBJ, he hasn't practiced. You know, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, a lot of the stars not practicing.
Is that a problem though? That's what I'm saying. Like, is them not practicing a problem? Because you gotta prepare your body for what you're about to go through in the season. So I feel like
Mhm.
you gotta be getting those reps, putting that strain on your body now, because you're just slowly preparing your body for the ramp up, right?
Yes.
If you go out there and you are fresh and you just start ramping up right away and you haven't, like, worked your body into that process, then you're gonna get injured. And I think kind of that's where my thoughts is. It's like, what's going on with you guys and how you're approaching these injuries? Because I'm just tired of guys being injured, right?
And,
And I
and
think it's a little
CB,
bit of luck and other stuff that go into that as well. But go ahead, Tony.
CB, listen, I get what you're saying, but there's all kind of videos. It's not like they sit around not do nothing. They are practicing. They're practicing with their personal trainers. They tour and the
Oh
guys
yeah,
are working out together.
Mhm.
So
Good
it's
point. Good
not like
point.
they just sitting around not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
In OTA, they're in shirts and pants. So I think Tyreek and Waddle and Tua is doing the same thing they doing. They just doing it on their own time. So they are getting their body prepared. They are you know what I'm saying, working out and getting that endurance in them. You get what I'm saying? So it's just because that, you know, you don't see them practicing in OTAs. We do see them practicing with their own personal trainers. You get what I'm saying? So I want to
yeah.
put
They
that
do
part out there
work.
too.
Yeah, they do work outside of practice and stuff like that. I just want to make sure, man. Like, we, I feel like our guys got to bang, right? And I feel like to be a physical team, you have to be physical in practice, and it starts with the way you practice and the intensity and how you guys get after one another, right? I feel like our ones are good on both sides of the ball. They need to be going against each other in practice. They need to be getting them reps against each other, because iron does sharpen iron. If you're going against sorry ass units every day in practice and you get into the game, you're going to struggle because them units are better. So I feel like them guys got to go out there and compete with each other, and I'm sure they'll crank it up, and it'll get to that point, especially when they get into training camp. I'm looking forward to the battles. I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys perform, man, for real.
Now
Hey,
I can't
CB,
wait for training camp. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, training camp's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
training camp is going to be off the chain. And I listen, I know this is a Dolphin show, CB, but if you listen,
We don't want to
I,
hear nothing about Luca. Okay,
I
good
got
job.
I got a lot of see
Good job. He
see
made a good a
see
game winning
see
shot.
see CB. I got a lot of people in the chat rocking with us right now, CB. Right,
Yeah,
and I would be remiss, CB, because I've donned a new era, CB. Just how things are in the works, a new era of Dolphin content. Right, I think it's Tag white NBA.
Oh, man.
And I don't know if anybody else seen, and I'm not going to say the other word because we're on YouTube, but if anybody else seen that white, you know what I mean? 32, 10, and 13 today. Game winner. Mavs up 2-0. Hey man, shout out to the white Euros. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the white Euros.
Hey, Kyrie carrying the boy. Stop playing, man.
Why is Rudy Gobert on this, man? When the game on the goddamn on the game on the line, and you got Rudy out there sticking him. Are you serious right now, bro?
Man,
they deserve to lose that goddamn game.
Hey, Luka hit that boy that step back and pow! It was a wrap.
Bang, bang, bang.
Hey, Lewis, I ain't gonna lie now.
Anthony Anderson.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Anthony Edwards. He having a bad series. We ain't gonna let that boy off the hook.
Nah,
we not gonna let him off the hook.
He gonna come back. He gonna come back.
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, he don't know nothing about that.
I don't know nothing about that. I'm talking about Baby Bird right now. That's what I'm talking about. Baby Bird. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about Toucan Sam?
Toucan Sam. Hey, Luka did his thing tonight. I mean, 32 triple-double. You can't be mad at that.
Yeah, that's crazy right
that's
now.
Nasty.
Hey, CB Lewis. Somebody text EM and said them numbers went up as soon as he left the panel. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man!
Somebody go text that.
Hey man!
Somebody go text him.
That's crazy.
Hey
man.
Luke, text that man because we are at 60 in the building right now. Do your boy a favor, punch that like button. Yeah, the numbers did go up, man. We up right now, man.
We almost doubled now. I thought, hey, listen, I've been watching the whole time, though. Somebody text
me. Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't lie, EM. You better tighten up, boy. We phasing you out. But yeah, man, y'all got anything else y'all want to rap about before we get out of here, man? Any other topics y'all want to touch on?
No, but I do want to say I hope everybody relax. It's just OTAs. Cause last time I checked, can somebody update me on the tour holdout situation? Yeah, thank you, CB.
Tony trying to get messy. Look,
hey.
I'm just trying. Everybody relax, bro. It's OTA. I'm excited. You get what I'm saying? I can't wait. I can't wait to see how these rookies look at actual training camp. So y'all, hey, listen, we're gonna have a lot of content come to y'all soon because I am out there every day, y'all.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna definitely be out there too for a couple weekends. Go check them out. But yeah, Tony, are you going? What do? You're on Twitter, right?
I'm on. Yeah. I'm on Twitter. What you mean as far as social media?
Yeah. Social media.
I'm really on all platforms, but I only really rock with Twitter like that. Okay, yeah, and facts are facts. Numbers don't lie, young man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, Tony. I gotta follow Tony. And here come EM. Speaking of the devil. Here come EM. But hey, follow Tony on Twitter, man.
There go the neighborhood, y'all.
There go the neighborhood.
Man, hey, that's real cute, Tony. That is real cute. Hey, man, listen.
He got up here quick, bro.
No. I had to get off that, bro. Man, Dallas, the Mavericks, man. That dude, Luka Doncic. Man.
Oh, no. I'm not going to allow that. Wait. Hey,
no, I ain't jumping on shit. I'm just saying. You got to give credit where credit is due, bro.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I remember, and I don't know I really don't know who the man is, right? But I remember someone coming into a Twitter space I was hosting after the first game win, right? Tony, you remember somebody that came and said that the Minnesota Timberwolves, this was going to be a sweep? You remember who that was?
Who said that?
Hey, I don't know who the nigga is. I never heard his name.
You know?
I know his icon had like some kind of dolphin on it or something like that.
Yeah. Hey, man. That was me. Listen. I give credit where credit is due. Listen, man. I underestimated Dallas. I mean, greatly because, man, we all know Luka
boy is cold-blooded.
No. Yeah, Luka is great, right? And I ain't taking nothing away from him. Kyrie is great too. But man, the I didn't really realize Dallas was that athletic, bro. They got linked, they got shot blockers, and they got that man Anthony Edwards, bro. Yeah. They got him in handcuffs. You hear me?
Yeah,
I mean, I have not seen a team all year that have neutralized him the way the Mavericks have. And I mean, he get by one guy. You got, man, they got so much athleticism 1 through 5. Well, with exception to Luka, but even Kyrie is playing excellent defense on Edwards when he's given an opportunity. But man, I just didn't think they was that athletic. You know, all that length and speed on the perimeter, bro. It is like, bro, they got Minnesota. Man, they got big problems, bro. And then they can't stop Luka or Kyrie, bro. Like Minnesota, and that's the #1 defense in the league. They got the fraudulent defensive player of the year, but they got the best. They've been the best defensive team all year. They have nobody that can stay in front of Luka or Kyrie, and they are just absolutely gutting their defense, bro. That's a bad matchup. That's a bad matchup for Minnesota, bro.
And you know what's crazy, EM, about just with the Luka stuff real quick. I know I've been, trolling a little bit about Luka. But people fail to realize, because again, not the fastest, definitely not the strongest, can't jump out the gym, can't do nothing that you would think an NBA player is. But quietly, right? And I mean this quietly during the season, he averaged 30 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. That was his average during the season in an 82-game season. And people think like these numbers are going away. Look at game 1's numbers. They're virtually the same tonight. 32, 10, and 13. A triple double. The man is a legitimate. He does it all, bro. He's going to get you buckets. He's going to rebound.
He's so skilled, bro. Like that.
It's amazing. It really is.
Them European players, man. Listen, they've taken over this league. Like a lot of these these American-born players moving forward, all that AAU crap. Like the farm system that we had in place for so many years, they thought like it was second to none. It was the best in the world. Nah, bro, these European players have kicked the door in, right? And they done ran everybody up out the house. They are dominatingly, and not only Luka, but that man down in South. Get that man one more here in about 8 months. That man, that true storm, that true alien down there in South Texas. Wait till he get a team around him. He gonna be right there butting heads with Luka Doncic. They gonna be he gonna be one, and Luka gonna be number 2 in the West. They gonna be battling for years to come.
What about the Joker? You gonna take the Joker out of there?
No. He out of there. He done. They got that cheap title. They out of there. They're done. Their run is over.
Hey, CB, Tony, and DG, you know what's funny? So let me get this right. And again, I don't want to say the word. I wish we were on a different platform, but we're not, so I'm going to keep it respectful. But a certain individual lives in the great state of Texas, specifically Dallas-Fort Worth, right? And he roots for a team 6 hours away when that cold-blooded white boy is right there in the backyard.
Bro.
That's crazy to me.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
You know what? Well, Luka ain't the first bad white boy the Mavericks have ever had. They had Dirk Nowitzki for I don't know how long.
Dirk.
Bro. I was a Spurs fan before I even moved to Texas, bro. I've been a Spurs fan. I mean, that's just been my team growing up. So,
bandwagon.
But listen, I got to give Dallas a lot of credit. That man, Luka is great. Like Kyrie is great, but like the team that they have, right? I did not think they could defend at the level that they have, and I'm telling you, like they're gonna win it if they get by Minnesota. I don't think Boston is gonna offer little resistance. That's probably a 5-win, a 5-game. They'll beat them probably 4-1. Well. I would say 4-1, yeah.
4-2. I think 4-2.
Well,
yeah,
maybe.
I think the general consistency is the champion is coming out the West. If you look,
Boston ain't got no heart though, bro.
That's what I'm saying. The champion is coming out the West. Like
Boston don't have no heart, bro. Like Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they put up them regular season numbers and they look dominant in the regular season, but bro, they don't have no heart. And it hurts me to say because the homie Derek White is on that team, San Antonio, born and raised. But other than Derek White, bro, they have in Porzingis is in and out of the lineup with nagging injuries, right? And he's not a player that really can cause problems, I think, down low because he's not a post player. He's pretty much a perimeter player. So you need Dallas to really threaten their defense. You need somebody that can dominate in the paint. And Minnesota don't have it. And I don't think Boston does either, bro. Like I think that's a bad matchup for Boston. Probably even a more worse matchup for Boston than it is for Minnesota right now.
Hey, EM, real quick, right? And because I'm the one that devolved this conversation into basketball, but obviously you were listening because Tony had a great point. The numbers definitely went up when you left. But now, again, since you're back, since you're back, you were listening. CB posed a question, right, about Mike McDaniel and maybe the mindset or the toughness of this football team. Did you hear a little bit of that conversation?
No.
Well, go ahead, CB. Pose that question, CB.
What's your thoughts on the Miami Dolphins?
Y'all already know we done had it, bro. Y'all ain't finna rub my blood pressure up this late at night, bro. Listen, I'm trying to have a nice, quiet evening. You know, I hopped on here to help y'all get them numbers, to get you a number, to help you with another number spike. I hopped on here to help you out, right? But y'all not finna get my blood pressure up. You know we've had this conversation, and bro, y'all not the
create that.
It's a different one. Let CB ask you the question because
CB asked Mike McDaniel.
Is this a culture Mike McDaniel is creating? Is it?
No, bro. I don't agree.
Is it leading to injury?
Well, I'll say this. Not on the defensive side of the football. Maybe I think there's somewhat a case can be made offensively because stylistically the offense that he has in place. Listen, I'm a fan of it, but at the end of the day, speed, and generally, and you can go back and pull up historical references, right? When generally faster teams face more physical teams, what happens? Right? It generally comes out worse for the team that is predicated on speed. So. And so a case can be made somewhat, but I wouldn't use the word soft. I would just move finesse, right? And again, I know those two words get, kind of get compared a lot, whatnot, but finesse, I wouldn't say
finesse to me in football is kind of like soft. It's kind of
yeah, you can say that. You can make a case for that, but I think soft is too strong a word. Finesse is more appropriate, I think. But at the end of the day, man, I think McDaniel, they do realize that. And but how do you remedy that, the lack of physicality on offense? I mean, is McDaniel going to make a few? I think the only way you do that, right? And they've gotten a lot better in terms of rushing the football, but it's not necessarily attempts; it's how you run the football as well. So they're pretty much an East and West, running team. But again, when you face the Baltimores, when you face the Kansas Cities, when you face the upper tier teams defensively, and they have those aggressive and also athletic D linemen, and they can match your speed and they can match, the athleticism up front. Well, then they take that away from you, kind of like what Buffalo did in particular, the second half of that second game when we played them at home. Remember that? They took away that perimeter in terms of the run game and forced them to run north and south, and they could not do that consistently. So I think, again, McDaniel, I said this coming into the season, I would like to see more gap, more north and south approach in the run game. We'll see. I heard privately that was a focus of the offense for Mike McDaniel. We'll see whether or not that translates to the field on Sundays. But at the end of the day, in terms of your question, CB, I think soft is too strong a word because, I mean, them players to get to that level, bro, to invest so much, work so hard their whole life, and then on top of that, to work just to, your Tyreek Hills and Jalen, look, bro, they are killing themselves to maintain their level of play, their level of physical condition, their level of just abilities, bro. Like that's not I'm not going to point at an individual that makes that level of investment, and I'm going to say they're soft, bro. I just can't do that. So if you want to say finesse, maybe that might be somewhat more appropriate. But at the end of the day, in terms of soft culture, nah, bro, I don't think this team is, you can put that label on this team, but we'll see what, how that, again, we'll see how it translates to the field. But Lewis been on that dumbass shit for a minute. Pardon my language, CB. He been on that dumbass shit for a minute. So y'all know, when we had that conversation, I absolutely exploded and almost lost my damn mind.
Defend yourself, bro.
Hey. So let me, because first of all, he said soft and you start seeing red. You didn't really answer the question, God dog. That ain't what he was asking.
I know he talking about finesse.
He said, with the flipping out, See,
He don't want to answer that question directly on. He just
well, no, I don't. Like I said, bro. Like I can't say soft, bro. Like finesse, if you want to say that.
He didn't. Well, he was saying more of not the players because we disagree. We don't. He was saying more of Mike McDaniel's coaching style. Do we think that's the reason that is leading to more injuries? You get what I'm saying? His coaching style, more of a soft, friendly type atmosphere.
Oh well, no, he didn't say that. All he said was soft.
You ain't let
he
him
left it at
finish,
that.
dog. You heard him say soft and went on.
My bad.
I was just saying.
Oh, my bad. Oh, I didn't hear that part.
It's because honestly, when we look at even like when I hear this stuff, it kind of concerns me. Like Omar and I think Poopar were having a conversation, and they said like, "Hey, the Miami Dolphins don't use all their practice days on the field. Like sometimes they won't use them all." And that stuff like that kind of concerns me because it's like, bro, you should be really exhausting all possibilities to get work in. And I was saying, well, my question was like, is the lack of practice, like the lack of banging, like the lack of pressure, leading to injuries? Like, can it? Is that something that could be going on? I think that's a legit question.
Well, I mean, you can go like you look at like you use basketball as an example, like the whole narrative of load management.
Yeah.
I just think it depends on the individual, bro. Like some players have benefit for lack of rest, some players haven't. You know what I mean? So I think it's an individual thing. It's their own bodies. It's their, everybody. Listen, we're all human beings, but again, biologically, we're built somewhat, different in terms of like. Certain players can take on a more of a workload, and that's just people in general, right? That's just So I think it's more than an individual thing as opposed to the approach of load management of players. But but in terms of the cult, no, I don't. I don't just. I'm not gonna say that's creating a culture of softness, a soft culture or whatnot. No, I don't see that. You know what I mean? Does this team look now again? I know when we play better teams, we tend to be, we haven't had the success that we all, was hoping, but I don't see on film, I don't see a soft team. When I look at the term, when I in my mind, the term soft means a player, a coach, a team, a unit, D-line, O-line, they're not willing to, to engage, a physical team, right? They fold. They're not willing to get out there and really mix it up and get physical with the opponent. That's not been the case with this team. They just been beat. You know what I mean? They just been beaten in the postseason by a better team. And no, if there's as long as there's a willingness to really get out there and quote unquote get your paper, nah, bro, you can't label somebody as being soft, bro. I'm sorry. That's just me, my perspective. I know Lewis, he might have a different, opinion on that or whatnot, but nah, bro. We just been beaten by better teams. It is what it is. So
yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, bro, you look at, Teron Armstead. Look, the players on his team, bro. How you gonna say these niggas? I'm sorry, CB. How you gonna say these players are soft, bro? Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's a lazy take, bro. Extremely lazy.
And we weren't saying the players were soft. We were just saying it's the culture. It's a culture soft. But I respect it. I think this was a good conversation. I think. When it comes down to it, the Miami Dolphins need to put the narratives to bed, right? Tua needs to step up in big games. Everybody needs to step up in big games. Mike McDaniel needs to be more physical at times, running the football, needs to get downhill. And I think there's really no room for any more excuses, right?
That I do agree with. Listen, there ain't no excuses. There ain't none.
Yeah. So
I do now that I agree with. No, you got to get it done. Like the injury narrative.
Yeah.
Listen, the injury narrative is out the window. Barring
is it gonna be here the third year straight? Like you can't have an injury bug hit you 3
years. No. No, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hear that.
No.
I'm not trying to hear that. You know, if we're sitting here, knock on wood, that this don't happen, and we don't meet the expectation, and there, you know, the laundry list of excuses start. No. I'm not trying to hear none of that. I'm not trying to entertain any excuses. No, absolutely not. With Tua, with Mike McDaniel, with this team. No, there's no excuses. Chris Greer has done a fun. You can't ask a GM to do a better job in terms of, you know, being accommodating to his head coach in terms of bringing, you know, building and really constructing this team with as much talent that he has done over the last 3 years. You cannot. And at the end of the day, bro, it's all about execution now. It's about health, execution. All of that falls up under that umbrella of execution. And they got to do it. Mike McDaniel included, Tua, the joint at the hip. We all know that. So no, the excuses are out the window, bro. No,
Listen,
you got to get it done.
My phone died. I had to get a little juice on it. But no. See, again, this is where it's always the confusion. No, and when the question was first posed to me and I gave my answer, I preference everything. I don't believe the players are soft because, it's like we always make these arguments like, well, look at them on the field to get to this level, the NFL level, you can't be soft. Yes, you can. Not from a physical standpoint. I'm talking about, again, from the mental side. And Ian, me and you are big boxing fans, right? I believe a lot of people are. Mm-hmm. Look at Kansas City game or Buffalo game, whichever one you want to pick, right? Nip and tuck games, right? It's just when in boxing, if you have two great fighters, it's cool. They both know how to throw jabs. They both know how to counter. They both know the ringmanship, the angles, the way to cut off the ring. We get all that. But it's one thing when you get punched in the mouth, how you respond. And when Miami gets punched in the mouth by, again, the Carolina Panthers or the Jets, New England, whoever, they'll punch back because at the end of the day, they know they're superior, right? They feel like they're superior. It's mental with them. They're like, man, we can't get beat by the Carolina Panthers. We shouldn't be in a game with the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. They know that. It's the mind is telling them that. But when they're matched up against the Philadelphia Eagles, a stronger-minded football team, Baltimore Ravens, a Buffalo Bills, right? And the Buffalo Bills or the Ravens punch them in the mouth. It just seems like they don't punch back. That's mental. That's mental, bro. There's a mental block there. It is, bro.
No. I think you got to look at, especially the last 2 years, bro, when we face these and we've had this conversation multiple times, but it's like talking to a wall sometimes. You know what I mean? Look at those teams, right? I don't know. I mean, is health a part of it? I mean, you're talking about the best teams in the league, right? Now I've heard you make the argument, right, with Tua, you in spaces and on panels, Lou, right, about why you give Tua somewhat of a pass facing the better teams when we haven't been at our top in terms of health. We hadn't had our roster intact. I've heard you give him a pass.
Right.
So hang on, let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. Hang on. Okay, so my point is, look at the time frame when they are facing these teams. They are at a massive disadvantage. You cannot be successful against upper tier teams if you do not have your roster. If they are more healthier than you are. It's impossible. Virtually impossible. Only one guy does that, right? That has been able to do that, and that's Patrick Mahomes.
Right. See, this is at the end of the season, there was too many injuries to overcome. But in the NFL, there's always going to be a guy missing here, a guy missing there. The fact of the remainder of this conversation is the first Kansas City game in London, Jalen Phillips was on the field. Bradley Chubb was on the field. Tyreek Hill was on the field. Jalen Waddle was on the field. All Tua Tagovailoa was on the field. Cedric Wilson, Durham Smythe. A lot of players were.
Was Connor Williams on the field?
I don't remember. Was Connor Williams already out at that game?
Yeah. Was Isaiah Wynn on the field?
Okay, and I just said one or two guys were out.
So you're talking about the best center in football. You're talking about the best center in football, right? And you're talking about a top 12 guard at that time. That's what you're talking about. Okay.
Again,
All right.
see, I didn't cut you off. I'm just saying that sounds like excuses to me, bro. If you can't
Okay.
overcome two guys, again, then what are we doing here? Because at the end of the day, bro, it was a nip and tuck game, and let's call a spade. People folded in that game.
We should have. Yeah, that's
There was opportunities to be made, and guys, asshole, you wouldn't be able to get a quarter out of some people's boobies in that game. And let's just call it what it is.
Williams did play that first game for the record.
Let's call it what it is.
It was Connor Williams. So this is my thing with the Kansas City game. We were good enough to win that game. We just played shitty.
And they got
Tyreek lost that goddamn game. Tyreek lost that goddamn game.
Come on.
Hell yeah.
Hold on. It's not only Tyreek, but Tyreek made some crucial mistakes in the game.
Massive drops, massive fumble that turned into the touchdown, right? That made the difference in the outcome of the game. They only won by a touchdown.
But the offense has got to be better too, though. Like to score.
Oh, absolutely, got to be better.
Points and to shut the Kansas.
But didn't he drop a ball on that same drive? Did he drop a pass?
Yeah,
he dropped two in that game. He dropped two in that game. Big time drops.
Yeah. And I mean, I get it. I mean, I think that's a game when we look back on, we like, damn, we should have won that game. Hands down. Even with playing poor, like you played your worst first half you could ever play.
But them booties got tight, CB.
Again.
Is that the culture though? Is that the
It's called mindset. It's called facing the defending world champions, because last time I checked, everybody folded against that same goddamn team. So is Lamar Jackson soft? Right? Is Josh Allen soft? Every other team that they beat last year, so they're soft, right? Stop. That's ridiculous. That is a lazy, dumbass take, Lou. Now, see, you done got my blood pressure sky high right now. I'm trying to have a nice, deep I'm trying to hop off this goddamn stream and go chill with my wife for a little bit, and this fool has got my blood pressure sky high with these dumbass takes.
Hey, Em, go put your feet in the pool and cool down.
I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't give. Listen, we're talking about mindsets again. We mentioned two guys, or you mentioned two guys, and they, CB, DG, and Tony both told you. They all three told you was dead wrong. Connor Williams played. The fact of the matter is, again, the mindset when it was close game, when all eyes on that game. Remember, it was prime time. I don't care if it's nighttime, morning time, or whatever. That was the only game on. All eyes on that game. You know who knew that? If I know that, DG knows that, CB, Tony, and you knew that, guess who else knew that? Tua Tagovailoa when he was throwing the ball. Tyreek Hill when he was trying to catch the ball. They knew all eyes were on them players. And when the spotlight was on, that, again, nip and tuck, the game there for the taking, right? Talent versus talent. Them butt cheeks got tight.
Nah, bro. They just got beat. So I asked you a question. So does that make ball now? Nobody had a better situation than the Ravens.
Nah, bro.
Nobody had a better situation than the Ravens. Nobody. Home field throughout. Number one seed, MVP guy, right?
Lamar soft. Lamar soft. Yeah. He's soft.
Okay. Well, okay. All right. So the Ravens are soft too. The Ravens are soft too.
Again, I don't know nothing.
That coach is soft too. Okay. All right.
Hey, y'all been funny, man. This was fun, man. Damn,
no, that's ridiculous, bro.
We gotta do this more often, man.
Talking about soft, bro.
I be turning up on Ian. That's what it is.
No. You be turning off, nigga. I be turning you off.
Yeah.
No. You can so-called turn up on. Hey, you can so-called turn up on him up. These other fools, your Tonys of the world, your CBs of the world. I don't know this other homie, but salute to you. Hey. All them clowns on Twitter. No. The buck stops right here in front of Ian Dolphin fans' door. I ain't trying to hear none of that dumbass shit you're talking about.
Well, hey, you might not be, like the movie Coming to America. You might not be listening, but I know you hearing me, nigga. I know that. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. I'm not trying to hear none of that.
Hey, look,
So
there's a reason we phasing that man out right now, bro.
that's cool. Hey, bro.
Terrible, CB.
Hey, that's fine. You can go ahead and phase the EM Dolphin fan out. I'll just go. I'll just go back to my.
He
Hey,
taking his talents to Peter.
no.
Hey,
Hey, no. I'll just go back to my original home, and we'll go put up. Hey. I'll go back to my original home, right? I'll go back to my original home, and we'll go back to putting up 9,000 and 10,000 views. That's what I'll do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm accustomed to doing. So yeah, do your thing.
Hey,
do your thing.
See how you taking shots? So we taking shots now? That's what we doing?
No, that that's real shit. You know that. So yeah.
Hey, I haven't seen them type of numbers in a long time. You got to show me.
Well, you must not be looking. You must not be. You must not be watching and paying attention. So yeah. It is what it is.
Hey, I appreciate y'all boys coming through, man.
Oh shit, you shutting it down? You shutting it down, CB?
Yeah. I'm shutting it down, bro. We've been
you tripping,
2 hours, bro. 2 hours strong, bro.
Hey, y'all be trying to go longer.
These boys don't stop. They'll go all night, bro. Hey, this is not TFTG where you had a 6-hour stream and don't be talking about it. Damn thing.
Yeah.
God damn.
You're wrong for that.
I don't know, dog.
You ain't gonna be taking shots at my team.
Hey, you know I gotta.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them boys at TFTG.
Well, hey, CB, hey, bro. Like the other day, man, I was hitting you up, dog, and I was telling you, man, that man Cap was in that space, and he was looking for you, dog. He was looking for you.
Cap came through earlier. Shout out to the homie Cap.
Hey, CB be running from them TFTG.
Yeah, that's the boogeyman. Hey, that's the boogeyman. That's the boogeyman.
Come on, man. Stop playing, bro. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Good show. Shout out to Bo G. Says good show, CB panel and chat. Have a safe weekend. Yeah.
Hey, man, real quick, though. Listen, a true OG in the community. Let me hop in this goddamn chat before you log off real quick.
Shout out chat.
Hey, to the homie Marino's GOAT. That he is that listen. He's one of those individuals that have flown under the radar for the most part, but that is a true OG in the community. Hey, man, always respect. You already know that.
Man,
I would definitely co-sign that message. Hey, real quick though, CV, for real. I heard you say it, and I just want to co-sign that. We keep saying it, maybe not tonight on the backstage. It's a little late. I got to get to the wife too. She already giving me that little look, but in the next up and coming days, bro, we got to get on a serious phone call and hash some things out. Cause again, listen, trolling aside, if I'm gonna talk the way I talk, I fuck with all the gentlemen up here, right? And I think these kind of conversations without the trolling and some trolling, obviously, but I think these are the conversations the community really needs to have. I think they're engaged and they keep asking for it, man. So
not that dumbass take, not that last dumbass take, but
well,
go ahead. Go ahead.
We all know.
No, ain't nobody trying to hear that foolishness. Ain't nobody trying to do that.
Yet again, just another illustration of me putting this nigga to sleep. But again, hey, shout out to you, CB, DJ, DG. It was a pleasure chopping it up, Tony. You already know. And again,
I think the first. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's get you up out of here, nigga, because the numbers took a drastic when you left, and they decreased when you came back. You know what, and that's fine. But like I said, if y'all want to commit YouTube suicide, well, you go right ahead. Because see, one thing what you fail to realize in this business is, right, you're gonna have bad days, even if that is the case. Numbers fluctuate, but you got to have longevity, bro. And one thing you can say about EM Dolphin fan, goddammit, I have longevity. You know that. I know that. So I'm not trying to hear none of that dumbass shit you talking about right now. So if y'all, they haven't figured you out yet, but don't worry, change is coming in 2020.
So I want you. So you know it. Hey. No, my bad, Tony. Go ahead.
No. I was just laughing. Go ahead. You good?
No. I was just saying, bro. Y'all know Lewis know what time it is. He can troll all he wants, but it is what it is. So
Man,
Hey,
Ian
But
is my
man,
guy,
hey man, y'all
Really, man.
listen, bro. Listen, you trying to log, man? You trying to shut it down for real? CB.
I gotta shut it down, bro.
All right, man. Well, that's cool. I kind of want to get some more shit off. I know I've been in and out on the panel, but that's cool.
Hey, read that
We'll keep that
comment,
for another
goddammit.
day.
Read that comment, CB.
He said, "Great show, fellas. Respect to all. Damn it, Lewis, make it happen." From the form like the Voltron, his fan base needs it, man. We need it. I'm telling you, bro. Because
I told
honestly,
you without that dumbass take, yeah, y'all straight. Y'all need to do
bro,
that. But when you come up
honestly,
with the
I mean, bro, there ain't many people having conversations. I mean, some people are trolling. Some people are like talking about
who
off
put
the
it
wall stuff.
who is not out there putting out quality
I mean,
content? I need a name on that.
we
I
not.
need a name on that, CB.
I'm not getting messy tonight.
I need toes on that.
I won't get messy tonight. All I'm gonna say is quality content is scarce in the community. You really have to search.
Damn.
You really have to search and find it to get it. But I do seek out everybody who's doing good stuff, and there's a lot of people doing good stuff. So I appreciate all the people doing the Lord's work and providing great content. Even
It's crazy.
DG does some dope stuff, right? My man.
Oh, wait.
You got like 6,000.
DG, you got a
right?
DG, you got a channel, bro? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I got a channel. DGE Dolphin Game Entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna check you out.
Check
you out.
Y'all gotta subscribe to bro, because he be putting out some good content, and that's what's up, bro. And he doesn't have to go live. He just puts up, 10, 15, 20-minute videos. Sometimes he'll premiere a show. So I'm always checking bro out. But I do watch everybody.
He don't go live because he don't want to deal with clowns like Lewis, bro.
Hey, he's still taking shots. Lewis,
hey man,
bro.
Hey, he can't deal with them dumbass takes. I don't blame him though. I don't blame him. Salute.
Lewis make my day. Lewis make my day.
Hey, CB, don't worry about it. Fortunately enough for us, he's making these comments, but everybody left since he came up, so ain't no one listening to it anymore.
Yeah, y'all boys funny, man. Shout out to y'all boys, man. I'm gonna put y'all on the back, man, real quick. Appreciate
it, man.
Salute. Shout out to the homie DG, EM, Lou, Tony for pulling up, man. It's always good conversations. Good chats, good talk, talking Miami Dolphins. Just looking forward to it, man. It's more stuff happening. I don't really get excited about the offseason during this time because guys are just putting in the work to get better. But as we kind of roll into the summer, get into training camp, it gets a lot more exciting. It gets a lot more fun because there's just so much more content out there, so much more, even on Twitter and in the news sector too. So just a lot more information out there. But man, I appreciate everybody coming out, man. Hey, we gotta run the intro or like the outro one more time, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. This was fun. Shout out to all the people who came through and showed love. Real quick, I gotta show love to my people who showed love during the chat or during the show. Hold on one second. Let me pause that. But yeah, shout out to everybody who showed love. We had Irv became another, extended his membership for 5 months. Cruz dropped a $10 donation. And the homie, the Wayne D Experience dropped a $5 donation too. So man, I appreciate y'all. That's love. Yeah, man, we out. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Hey, fins up with CB83 and I'm out.